We're following breaking news out of Lynchburg today. Good evening and thank you for joining us for WSLS 10 at 5.
Crews are on the scene of a train derailment in the area of 9th Street in Lynchburg. That has forced evacuations. There are no reports of injuries here, but let's take a look at video from the scene from a viewer. As you see, there were tons of flames, lots of smoke. We have team coverage of this developing story.
The worry here is just in case that crude oil explodes and causes more damage in this area. Now, there's still a lot of uncertainty right now, but here are the facts. It happened close to the to the depot grill. The cars rolled toward the river and caught fire. Now, this was a CSX train, and about 12 to 14 cars derailed.
We've been closely following water testing in the James River since the train derailment in Lynchburg about a month ago. Still, new test results are coming in. I've been working with Chief Scientist of Water Defense, Scott Smith, as he's testing contaminants in the James. Most notably, acetone has been found in the river and could be the key to the explosion after mixing with the Bakken crude oil. We've tested its flammability here at the studio compared to conventional crude oil that wouldn't ignite with open flames. In an exclusive interview with Mark Ruffalo, actor and founder of Water Defense, he says research from the Lynchburg accident has been a major turning point for these types of disasters.
Virginia is a state that's well positioned in a political kind of place in the world that people pay attention, and so I was expecting that to be a very well-informed collaboration with the organizations there, as well as the government and the media, and it's pretty much, thanks to you.
For more of that exclusive interview with Mark Ruffalo and Chief Scientist Scott Smith with Water Defense, visit us online at WSLS.com. Next week, Senator Mark Warner will be making an announcement regarding safety rail issues surrounding the Lynchburg train derailment. And as always, we'll continue to keep you updated with the latest. In the newsroom, Rachel Lucas, WSLS 10.
After weeks of searching, new developments as crews searching for missing UVA student Hannah Graham find human remains. We have team coverage tonight on the recent developments out of Albemarle County. WSLS 10's Jade Hansen is in Charlottesville and talked with students on campus about this news.
Yes, Jenna, well, students here at UVA have started to learn about today's news within the last few hours, both from students talking about it on campus as well as social media. And as you can imagine, students here in Charlottesville are experiencing a number of emotions tonight. There's the obvious feeling of sadness in knowing that it's not likely that Hannah Graham will be returning home. I'm told by students that was something many had hoped for, but had begun to realize it was not likely going to happen.
WSLS 10 teaming up with Habitat for Humanity to help a local woman build a better life for her family. Veronica Garcia is a single mom of 3 living in Roanoke. The goal is to have the new home built for the Garcias by December 19th, just in time for Christmas.
In the early to mid-1900s, these now abandoned buildings at the Central Virginia Training Center in Madison Heights were filled with hundreds of children and young adults. They are brought to the hospital, deemed unfit or mentally deficient for society.
Both of us up here at the same time.
Sadie and Janet Ingram, sisters raised in foster care, were dropped off as children here by their social workers.
All we could do was look out the windows.
They both described the training center as a jail, and by the time doctors told them they could leave, the sisters had unknowingly undergone surgery. Janet and Sadie were both sterilized.
But I didn't know what they were going to do to us. After it was all over, they took me back in my bedroom. I got into bed, and I woke up, and my stomach was hurting. I said, something's wrong with my stomach. And I looked down there. It was a long cut, and it had staples in it.
The couple's dire situation started 4 years ago when their son died. A $500 electric bill on his place went unpaid. And now, due to late fees and penalties, the family now owes AEP nearly $9,000. This is their 67th day living mostly here, bundled up on their deck. but it's also their last. After their story aired on WSLS 10 on Wednesday, viewers across Southwest Virginia rallied to their aid. A Roanoke County man created a GoFundMe account. He doesn't want any recognition, saying he just wanted to pay it forward. Donations poured in, and in less than 15 hours, concerned citizens helped raise more than $10,000.
It's not easy to get to the site where Piedmont Flight 349 crashed on a foggy night on October 30th of 1959. Local landowner Ballman Abbott led us via four-wheel drive to a place where we could hike down to the site from the top of Buck's Elbow Mountain.
This is just the last time I hiked down to the crash. I just made some notes.
Though shorter than the 6-mile trek from the bottom of the mountain, the terrain is steep and strewn with loose rock. There is no trail.
But I'm thinking it's down in this area.
With Ballman's help, we pick our way to the wreckage. Our group includes members of the Crozet Rescue Squad who've never been to the crash site, and one man with a special reason to be here.
The very first thing you think of is what could have been.
Leadership. So that's what we're going to do. We're all going to go out there and lead us into victory, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm carrying on. I'm introducing him to a whole new generation. I can't tell you how many times I do this in front of kids where maybe 3 years later, they actually stop me. Their first remark is, "You've changed my life." Gentlemen, we're going to relentlessly chase perfection, knowing full well we'll never catch it, because nothing is perfect.
We do want to first check on the path of that storm as it continues to move through.
And to do that, we go to Storm Team 10 Chief Meteorologist Jeff Hanowich and meteorologist Christina Montouri. They've been tracking the storm all day.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be an enormous snowstorm for us. Again, the best snow that we've seen, or if you're not a fan of the snow, the worst snow that we've seen since January 30th, 2010. Now, you'll notice that we continue to see moisture coming in from the south. This moisture is all in association with a low pressure system, one that will likely strengthen, and one low pressure system that will likely not only tap into Gulf moisture, but it will likely tap into Atlantic moisture as well. You will notice that even the Carolinas dealing with a very generous amount of snow at this point. As we zoom in locally, there were some hints of some sleet earlier. The sleet, well, is gone. I think it's all snow again. The sleet lasted for maybe 20 to 30 minutes, and everybody now again is dealing with snow.
It is a special night in Giles for another reason, as tonight they took time out to honor their legendary Spartans coach Steve Ragsdale. 3 decades of service. Lindsey Ward has more on the newest inductee to the VHSL Hall of Fame.
What would this program be without Coach Ragsdale?
Number 67.
We might not have a football team. And that's honest. I mean, before him, football here was not successful, and he put it on the map. He built a program. Within 2 or 3 years, he built a program.
And the proof of that successful program is sitting on the sidelines, lit up for fans to see. These are the state championship signs that are fixtures under the scoreboard. 3 of the state titles were won under Coach Ragsdale's leadership, and his winning record has landed him in the VHSL Hall of Fame. The school and community brought him center field at halftime to say thank you.
And they got to start enjoying it right after the game. Coach Chris presented with the number 40 jersey, representing 40 years of coaching. That is going to be retired, the first and only jersey retired at Blacksburg High School, and no better way for a coach to go out than getting carried off the field by his team. Obviously an emotional moment for Coach Chris. You could really see what this meant to him and really what this meant to this community as well. The good news, though, not the last time he's going to be seen. Likely Blacksburg gets into the playoffs with this win, and you never know what can happen. As Coach Chris said it himself, you play defense, you play special teams, and good things can happen. For now, reporting in Blacksburg, Aaron Martin, 1st and 10.
All right, and you have to love well, it wasn't really a photo bomb, was it? Because the camera went up to him, but you had to love the flag there. All right, meanwhile, while Steele spent time in victory lane, our own Jonathan Merriman was getting seat time in his racing debut.
This weekend's racing at Franklin County Speedway was packed full of door-to-door action. Literally, I had the opportunity to participate in the U-Car division, driving Eric Winslow's blue and yellow Honda a car that finished with a few more colors on the door.
You was willing to put the bumper on somebody and make a pass, you know. You can't be scared, and you wasn't scared of it.
That car's got a little bit of character now. It was pristine and looking good at the start of the day, but it looks like a race car now. It's got a little character is what we like to call it.
We started making the Garcia family home a reality in the rain on Tuesday, working on what we could with dozens of volunteers.
1, 2, 3.
Then Wednesday was an impressive day with the walls being raised. And while this time lapse shows the work at a super fast pace, it's truer to life than what some might think. That same day, a crane arrived to put the trusses in place, and we got an aerial view of the action. This is one of the fastest Habitat for Humanity home builds that's ever been done in the Roanoke Valley.
Ready?
By the end of Thursday, day 3, all doors and windows and shingles are in place. Interior walls are set and all electrical, plumbing, and HVAC systems installed. Now, on day 4, more of the WSLS family and others hammered nails. We found meteorologist Christina Montori has many talents in addition to forecasting. The drywall was delivered, so the inside will really start to take shape soon. By the end of the day, the project is ready for the next step.
Cabinets, flooring, doors, all the trim around the house. So all the stuff that is the finished look of it, you're going to start seeing come the end of next week.
And knowing this house will be a home for the holidays for the Garcia family makes all the hard work worth it.
Now we have a place that we call home for many years to come. We appreciate and thank every single person for making this house possible, and everyone who is here standing with us. We are at your service, and we'll welcome you to the Garcia family home.
Oh, thanks, Veronica.
So what do you think? You want to do the keys now?
I think we should. Okay. We are joined by our more than half a dozen sponsors that Veronica mentioned in her beautiful speech. And so I think she's ready to get those keys, John.
Veronica, if you would step over here with me. On behalf of all of the sponsors, all the volunteers, Habitat for Humanity, WSLS, and all the people that you just mentioned, congratulations. And there are the keys to your new home.
They're very jolly, yes. They'll be used for jingle bells. And so we'll do the ribbon cutting. We'll let you all, if you all want to do the ribbon cutting together.
Come on, there you go. We'll count down from 5, okay? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yay!
Yay! Congratulations.
So Veronica, I mean, did you think this day would ever come?
I knew it was going to come because I have faith. And I know that everybody who puts their mind into it, things can happen.
Aww.
So I know Habitat always works hard for everybody, and they have a great group behind them. And I knew it was going to happen.
Oh, we're so happy for you, Veronica. We're going to step inside here in just a few minutes, and we'll be touching base with you all as we move through our new newscast. For now, Jenna, we'll send it back to you.
Okay, thanks so much, Karen. Earlier, the keys to the WSLS 10 and Habitat for Humanity Home for the Holidays house were handed over to Veronica Garcia and her 3 children. Let's check back in now with WSLS 10's Karen McNew, who is inside the home on Rohr Avenue. Karen, big smiles, lots of excitement there in Roanoke for this big day.
A lot of big smiles, Jenna, as this is the fastest home Habitat for Humanity has ever been able to build here in the Roanoke Valley because of so many people from the community coming together. And I will tell you, it's a lot warmer inside than it was outside on the front porch. We're joined by Executive Director for Habitat for Humanity, Karen Mason. Talk a little bit about this project, Karen, and what it's meant for the community, for Habitat, for the Garcia family.
It has been tremendous. I mean, it has pulled together so many folks with so many gifts and great hearts, and everybody has come together to make this a reality. And we're so happy for the Garcia family. This is just a wonderful experience for the entire community.
Absolutely. And earlier someone asked Veronica if she was ready for everyone to just clear out so she could enjoy her home. And she mentioned that she's probably going to miss having everyone around. Talk a little bit about what this process has been like for you.
I mean, the process just been one short. I never expected to have a house in 3 weeks. So it's being quite like fast.